one time was a good fighter, but at 37 he's seen better times, but he can bang a bit. And remember, on his record, he's lost 7, it's true, but he's only been stopped once, and that was against Larry Holmes, and he had Holmes on the deck. And the usual rules there, this is local rules, obviously not WBCA, BCs or IBFs. It's remember the 3 knockdown rule. In effect, one man goes down, it's automatically over. They use the word standing 8 count. I think they really mean the mandatory 8 count there. It's not the amateur ruling. So the atmosphere is building up, as it always does here. There's no doubt about that. And you just come up to no more than a few seconds too early, really. I've seen a lot of Snipes. I've only seen videotape of Gonzalez, but close up is quite an awesome looking character, I have to tell you that. Only had one fight this year, this fellow, Renaldo Snipes, who won in the 3rd round. So they're waving all over now.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Spencer Promotions, Main Events Monitor Promotions, and the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All these bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Bruce Lane, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. Executive Director is Mark Ratner. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Omansky, Dr. James Wishgame, and Dr. Robert Boy. The timekeepers will be James Cavan and Mike Lasella. The judges for this first bout will be Lou Tabbitt, Bill Graham, and Cindy Barton. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Toby Gibson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started with a 10-round bout. This is in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 217 pounds and wearing the gold trunks with blue trim. He's from Yonkers, New York, with a professional record of 39 victories, 22 by KO, against 7 defeats with 1 draw, and he's a former Continental America's heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Renaldo, Mr. Snipes. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with gold trim, weighing 237 pounds. This 4-year world amateur champion is now undefeated as a professional with a record of 16-0, 15 KOs. Originally from Cuba, now fighting out of Miami, Florida, introducing Jorge Luis Gonzalez.
So the rundown from the referee there. Well, I hope they can be heard as tall as these fellows are.
I've given you both your instructions prior to this fight in your respective dressing rooms. Mr. Gonzalez's trunks are high. I'm considering this a legal punch. I'm letting both corners know right now. Does he understand? Okay, legal.
That's a good point.
Okay.
If he hits him on the belt,
obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
That's an unusual one, Jim, isn't it? Being able to hit on the waistband, it becomes a fair punch, but he's such a huge guy, this. As I said, bigger than Primo Garner and Jess Willard. And you'll have no problem identifying him, will you, with this satanic goatee and the lion's mane. Well, now, sorry, Jim, I wonder if he can fight this fellow. He's been a bit of a Jack the Lad. Doesn't really get down to training, but now for this one, he says he has.
Well, I sometimes feel 6'7" is too tall for a fighter, but he looks fairly athletic the way he moved around when he was warming up. So I've got a good look at him here, and I just see.
He has an amateur verdict over the great Teofilio Stevenson, Jim. Admittedly, the old boy in Stevenson is getting past it a bit, but it's still a good one for the record. Amazing time. The only time he's gone the distance, an 8-rounder, Gonzalez. His opponent was only 5'7". A Texan called Davy Groves. That's in May last year. Well, is he going to wind that right hand up, Jim? He's showing it a bit, isn't he? without unleashing it.
But he let one go just a second ago. Snipes managed to block it, but it looked a fair right-hand punch. Lost his gum shield already.
Just over a minute, that's out now. I'm surprised. Yes, you'll have to take that out now. Take time off and get that gum shield back. Wash it.
Come on, let's go.
It's quite right, taking Snipes back to the corner there. I didn't actually spot a punch there. What happened?
No, there wasn't a punch. I can only imagine it's an ill-fitting gum shield because nothing much was happening when he lost it.
He's doing a lot of threatening at the moment, the Cuban now, the Miamian. Defected from Cuba, actually. And hit himself in Moscow, of all places, and then got shipped out to Finland.
So that's quite a vicious right-hand he throws, Reg. It hasn't landed cleanly yet, but a couple of times he's let it go. He looks to get a fair bit of power behind.
Okay, get off him. That's all
a little
right.
bit clumsy with that one, but the two before that real good, solid right-hand punches.
No wrestling, gentlemen. Clean inside, clean inside.
Well, it's early on to make any, genuine judgment, but he's not a bad mover, is he?
He doesn't look too bad, and he doesn't seem in the least bit worried about what Snipes is going to throw back. He keeps Snipes backed up to take the sting out of his punches, and very confident. And it doesn't seem as though anything that Snipes can do is going to trouble him.
So coming up then to the end of the opening round, scheduled for 10, unlikely for heavyweights, at least for these nine anywhere to go the distance. Like that hairbrush that they're stuck on the back of his neck there, Jim. That's some hairstyle there, but I don't think I'll ask the name of his barber. Well, that one was on the leg. That'll slow him down.
That was like a smack in the backside, that one.
Wasn't it? Well, 15-year pro, this
no,
man,
move
Renaldo
towards the
Snipes.
left. You let him get to you. Move to the left. He get to his line. Move to
One mic.
Move to your left.
The early days of
away
his career,
from
beat
the
Johnny
right hand.
Garcia, Johnny
Yeah.
Mustafa Mohammed, or
Yeah.
Gregory. South African Johnny Dupoy. So the opponents for this fella early on, it doesn't mean much, and as Lennox Lewis pointed out, that's his claim to fame, that he beat Riddick Bowe and Lennox in the same week. In fact, I think it was like 24 hours. His last fight, Gonzalez, was a one-rounder, a fellow called Dwayne Hall. Second round. And really, Jim, 16 stone 13. He's pretty agile, this Gonzalez, isn't he?
Yeah, decent balance. Sometimes when people are a little bit too tall, the balance suffers. But a couple of times he's missed with a punch, which he did then. He doesn't topple over. Decent balance. And the right hand certainly looks a fair bit of power in it.
Referee just had a nod at him there, Jim. Did you notice that?
Well, Snipes got him with the right hand last year. Didn't shake him at all, but that was a decent shot. That'll maybe give the Snipes a little bit of heart. He's going to have to try to get forward and get some punches going. He's been backed up all the way through the first round.
Oh, he's getting his own back there, Snipes. He's hitting Gonzalez on the hip now. Was a good puncher at one time, Renaldo Snipes. That's the last thing they lose, of course, the heavyweights.
Let him up, let him up, let him up. Come on.
Gonzalez might be making a mistake ignoring Snipes' long left hand. I mean, not having any trouble catching with it. No, he was there. He wasn't quite close enough.
Okay, let him up. Come on.
Be interesting, Jim, if Snipes really catches him clean again, what will happen with this fella? Tell you what, we'll shout out timber if he comes our way.
Snipes is a little bit more active in this round. He was just moving around, keeping himself out of trouble in the first round. But he's trying to get forward a bit more. He's not moving back from the punches so much now. He's trying to slip inside.
Let him up.
So a minute to go then in the second. He keeps showing that right hand. It's a bit obvious, isn't it, Gonzalez?
Yeah, but he's not cumbersome the way he throws the punches.
No, I agree with
Let
you.
him up.
He carries his left hand very low, but a couple of times he's whipped it into a hook, you know, fairly sharp.
It looks as though he's trained for this one anyway.
Yeah, good sharpness about his punches. I mean, Snipes, although he's a little bit down the road, he's still very experienced, and he's keeping his chin well out of harm's way. But Gonzalez, good and sharp with his movements and with his punches.
Well, there's a lot of concentration around in the audience here as they're coming in for the main event, of course. Rather than cheering like that, they're just looking sort of staring at these two, Jim. I don't think they can believe what they're seeing on the size of Gonzalez. And there seemed to be a little bit of fight left with Snipes. Have another look at that.
See, fairly relaxed Gonzalez, and he whips the point. That was a good right hand, didn't really have much of an impact. A decent shot, over it came. See, it was bang on the button, just for that split second. There was a little reaction, but Gonzalez looked straight back at him, no problem. So, looks like a decent chin with that one anyway.
Okay, estamos ganando. Vámonos. Okay.
What'd you say, 2 tails?
They have to move.
Let's go. Come on.
Third round then. Snipes 15 stone 7, Gonzalez 16 stone 13. I tell you, they grow them big these days, don't they?
Let him up. Let him up. Let him up.
Referee local, Nevada referee Toby Gibson. Not bad for an old boy of 37, isn't he, Snipes, Jim? He's in good shape. Lost to Tim Witherspoon and Greg Page and Terrell Biggs. But he's won his last 10. In fact, his last loss was 5 years ago, Renaldo Snipes, to Ollie Norris.
Gonzalez isn't bad, Reg. Makes good use of his feet. Just a little step back as the Snipes comes forward. Decent balance, and he gets the punches off fairly quickly. Not that bad.
The Cubans can come up with a few heavyweights. You know, they had the gold medalist in the heavyweight division, of course, in Barcelona. And Teofilo Stevenson, a record holder in the Olympics. Oh, now this is really showing us that the hand's dropping. Like, well, as I said, he's a bit of Jack the Lad in him, isn't there?
Snipes' face is becoming a little bit banged up now, Reg.
Yeah, I'm not
the jab's
surprised.
been whipping into it a few times.
Quit holding him. Quit holding him. Quit holding him.
Jim, I know it's getting a bit nippy here now, but you can almost hear Gonzalez exhaling like that, can't you? It makes a lot of noise, doesn't he? As though he's getting tired. I can't believe he is.
I don't think so. I mean, he's been fairly in control right from the start. Still looking sharp enough.
Oh, good
right
combination there. Oh, well, you can see that one coming. He's taking real charge here now, Jim. He's not exactly a different gear, but something's come over him here.
I know he's taking a lot of chances with his hands down, but it's nice the way he's just stepping back from Snipes' leads, swaying back a little bit. coming back with good counters. I'm quite impressed. He's a little bit better than I expected him to be.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he couldn't be as adventurous as this against a top fighter. But taking a lot of chances, a little bit careless. But he's got Snipes under control.
I think Lennox could help himself a bit with a good left-hand jab if he remembers to use it enough. But
I don't think he would box with these tactics against Lennox Lewis.
I don't know why they're jeering that. I mean, usually a bit of showmanship. They like it, the Americans, don't they? But it's a tough audience in this town in Las Vegas.
I want you to go to
No, what time is it? Per round.
fourth round. Okay, we got to go to the body. Stop head hunting so much. I want you to dig
Good
down
win
body.
one service, Trevor Berbick has got a
too much
decision.
there.
Him
You
and
gotta move
Berbick
that
was
head. Get this
world
side,
champion,
get
and of course defeated Muhammad Ali in his Ali's last fight. Have a look at that again, Jim.
See, I like the fact that Gonzalez is not stiff in the slightest. He's very relaxed. Good combination, good variety, and just doing pretty much as he likes here. Totally in control. Carrying the left hand very low, but he's whipping it up, and Snipes can't really see it coming. That's a good solid right hand he throws. See, looking to get that whipped in there. You just caught him with the uppercut.
Mix it up, both of you, mix it up.
Out for the fourth round, and well, the referee responding there. Mix it up, both of you. Well, I don't think Snipes wants to rush in there and take too many chances.
I don't know that the referee's got any right saying
No,
that,
I don't
Reg.
think he has.
There's not been a lack of action, quite the opposite. Snipes is trying to get in close, and Gonzalez just whacking him every time he tries. I mean, I don't know where the referee gets that.
Goes right back to the Archie Moore days, Jim, at Harringay when he fought Yolandi Pompey, and he did that, and Jack Hart, the referee, said it to him, and Moore said, I think you're very rude. Oh dear, there's enough target there for him to land on, isn't it, Snipes?
Well, you've got to give Snipes a bit of credit. He's certainly determined enough, Reg. He's always been a proud fighter. And he keeps saying nothing's going his way, but he's keep coming forward.
Oh,
yep.
dear, oh dear.
Well, teach him, Reg.
That'll learn him, as they say, yeah. Oh dear.
I think he deserved a little
That would have
clip.
been off at all meetings there, wouldn't it? No bets there. I'll tell you what, the referee takes a fair punch, Jim.
Yeah, and Snipes doesn't feel so bad. He's at least have hit somebody now.
I mean, he's slapping him now, Jim, with punches. You wouldn't like to take those, would you?
See, he's standing his ground now. See, I think if he starts backing Snipes up, then he could maybe have the job finished. He's allowed Snipes to come forward the previous round in this one.
He's been a pretty good old warrior over the years. But one of the nearly men, actually, Snipes. So a minute to go in the fourth. Scheduled for 10, but I still think very unlikely to go that. See, weight-wise, Jim is huge as a trunk tree, isn't he, actually, Gonzalez, but he's still lighter than Riddick Bowe at 16-13.
It's going to be down to the condition that Gonzalez has. A little bit laid back. He's not setting the pace anymore. It's quite happy just to back off and let Snipes set the pace.
There was some talk in the fight circles that he does run out of gas a bit, and he said that's because I haven't trained that well. He thinks it's all fun living in America after being, well, to use his terms, fairly imprisoned in Cuba. Certainly wanted a bit of a conversation there, didn't they? And the arrival then of Evander Holyfield. Well, he hasn't got too many minders around him anyway. Let's have a quick look at that again.
Gonzalez still trying to bomb the big right hand home. But, Snipes staying a little bit below it. And the few times the big man has gotten through, Snipes has taken them well. So if this goes a few rounds, Reg, we'll see what kind of condition he's got.
Check out the way.
Fifth round. Now let's see if he's going to get down to business again with Gonzalez, or whether Snipes can just throw that, well, not lucky punch. There's no such thing really. If you throw a punch, it's not very lucky. That's what you were trying to do, land on the target. Comes out full of running, doesn't he, Snipes? You know, looks like he means business.
Well, he fancies the job, Reg, and that's all you can ask from an opponent. After the first round, I thought maybe he was just going to make up the numbers, but the longer the fight goes, the more Snipes is fancying it.
Oh, he's been very saucy here in the sparring sessions here, Gonzalez, and mouthing off to Riddick Bowe, and all kinds of things have been happening there. He's trying to get himself a fight with Bowe. He might regret that, perhaps. Still got a lot of proving to do, this big man.
The only thing about the way he's boxing now, Reg, he's not making his advantages count. He's not using his reach, he's not using his weight, he's not using his strength, he's allowing Snipes to come forward, he's just pot-shotting with the jab. And he's pulling him down every time he comes close, he's just been warned for that. If you have the advantages, then you should be using them, got to learn how to use them.
Still surprised he's not a cumbersome fellow, you know, Jim. He's hugely built, quite a lot of ability, but the thing is, it looks as though he wants to do it in spasms all the time, full of showbiz stuff, you know. It won't be good enough at top level.
Yeah, I mean, he's fairly athletic, he's not clumsy. The fact that he's 6'7", I expected him to be a little bit clumsy. He's not. He's a little bit too laid back. He should be backing Snipes up, keeping him backed up with the jab, then he would get the right hand home. Snipes has the experience, and if you allow a fighter like Snipes to box his own type of fight, he's going to give you problems.
Oh, they love it, the crowd, when Snipes lands a blow. Whoa, look at that. The heavy rollers allow themselves a bit of a cheer now. Coming up to the end of the fifth then. Just a little nick, as you can see there, around Snipes' right eye, just above, it's out of harm's way, as they say. Cornermen won't have any problem patching that up.
Let me get my man down comfortably.
Start working them body now. Start working them body.
Beautiful job.
Apply a bit of pressure there with that and swell, well iced up that little block, and pushes down the swelling. So there's a wide angle view of it all now. So while we're waiting to come out for round 6, don't forget Beau Holyfield comes up after Hearns and Andrew Maynard, which is next. So that'll be around, what, 3:45 to 4:15 British time, depending on the length of the Hearns fight. Sixth round then of the scheduled 10.
Gonzalez has a decent jab, Reg, when he decides to use it. but he should be back in Snipes' third. Snipes produced a lot of good work in the 5th round, and Gonzalez shouldn't be allowing that to happen. He should use his advantages and get this fellow backed up now.
It's the best name, of course, that Gonzalez has been in with, and just to repeat that he did go 8 rounds with a little 5'7" Texan in May last year.
It's a decent right hand he whipped in towards the body there.
The low punches with the left hand there, Jim, didn't he, Gonzalez? But certainly Snipes has not been playing. I'll give him credit for that.
Gum shield going again. At least that time it was punched out.
Yep. See, the referee has to wait for what they call the appropriate moment. He doesn't want to necessarily break the action up immediately, but it is a medical rule now to replace the gum shield.
I just want the mouthpiece here.
Or mouthpiece, as they call it here, which is another hint from the lawyers as well. And I'm always saying this was invented by a British fighter, Ted Kid Lewis, whose birthday centenary was only a few weeks ago. Minute to go then in the 6th. Oh dear. Nearly had to duck that one, Jim. Came out over us. Imagine referring to somebody as the little fella. The crowd love him, Jim. 15 stone 7, little fella.
Snipes is making him work, Reg. He's not giving him all his own way. Still trying to come forward.
Get ready.
It's all a bit hit and hope by Snipes. It's the only chance he's got. A bit of swelling around the left eye, Jim.
Yeah, his face has been banged up quite a bit for the last couple of rounds, and it's getting worse every round.
I think Snipes sees this as a bit of a big chance in a big audience, and you know, sort of big professional night, isn't it? All the top fighters are here and the promoters. But well, you can see he certainly have been. Well, I think the old scribes called it bellows to mend. He's blowing very hard here.
You gotta work that body, man. Come on.
Yes, sir. Okay.
How many fingers are you
You got 2.
Yeah, get that steel on it. Looks
The
good.
doctor just standing up to, as well, having a check over the ropes to make sure everything's in order there in this corner.
You're not moving like you're doing it. Move. You gotta move.
I think that's as close as I need to go to see that damage, Jim.
You're not doing it. Remember how we worked them two? Remember how we did the 2 the double up on right hand? You're not doing this.
Let's go. Come on, baby. You're tough. I'm gonna go. Take him out of there. You know.
7th round. Well, I started off by saying that will it go 10 most unlikely of the heavyweights of this caliber, and could well be wrong. It may hang in there for 10 rounds. But certainly Snipes' face now suffering damage, so I don't know whether they can keep mashing him up like that, getting rid of these contusions.
See, that's a good jab Gonzalez throws, but he should be backing this fellow up, getting more power into his punches. He certainly has probably the ability to stop Snipes, but he's allowing Snipes to keep coming forward. He's not getting the full power into his own punches.
Oh dear, Jimmy, wound up with that one to the body, didn't he? Almost like the Cuban bolo punch that the great Kid Gavilan used.
we have to remember Snipes has always been a tough nut, Reg, and he fancies the job, so I suppose he's entitled to put up a good show against Gonzalez. But Gonzalez, I think he's not bad. If he pays full attention to the game and does it properly, then it won't be too long before he gets a crack at winning the titles.
He's not a champion yet, Jim, but I think he's going to make it a bit awkward for those who are.
Well, I think he's got a fair bit of potential. A decent balance considering 6'7". A decent variety of punches, a decent jab. Yep, a fair bit of potential.
Yeah, he's got middleweight legs, really, isn't he?
Both of you, come here. Box it up, let's mix it up.
Box it up, Chip. Send off a parcel or something, this guy. I mean, they're fighting to their ability. He's not entitled to say that.
I don't know what he wants. The action has never stopped. Snipes has never stopped coming forward. They've always been in punching range. Look at Snipes' face. Is that because nobody's hitting him?
Yeah, exactly.
Box, box.
You know, Snipes is entitled to say to him, why don't you fight him then? Somebody must.
Arriba.
I don't know what he wants. I mean, it's really been non-stop.
Gonzalez has hit Snipes with everything but the corner bucket, Jim, so we're bound to say, well, does he really punch his weight? And the crowd's still pouring in here at Caesars Palace. 15,500. There's the big man himself, Riddick Bowe, who really did look good at the weigh-in. Surprisingly, he's got some weight off. He's a big man, though, isn't he? 17.5 stone, and he really did look in good condition. All the chat about him being overweight, just a big man that can carry the weight. In fact, I was saying to, you know, it's revealing really that although he's got heavier, he's actually got less fat contention in his body. He's had it checked, and he's very happy about it.
I'm not waiting there.
Your right hand is good. You got to throw it straight.
So the man from Yonkers, New York, now well under fire, and this fella seems to be enjoying it all, Gonzalez. First big show for him, really, of this kind.
Arriba. Stop. Stop.
And defected from Cuba, obviously, and finished up where he should have been in the first place, in Miami, instead of going with the Cuban team and locking himself in Moscow. And then sent to Finland, and finding his way back there to America. Well, there's a good quote from Gonzalez, really, when we talked about it. He said, a man without risk has no emotion.
See, he's very cool, Gonzalez, too. Snipes, okay, we have to keep in mind that Snipes a little bit past his best, obviously. But he's put up a good show, put him under a fair bit of pressure, but the big fellow, never too upset about anything, always looking straight back at Snipes. Is the last word in the exchanges. You know, okay, he probably could handle Snipes a little bit better than he's doing.
Oh, look, they love that one. Back of the arena cheered that one, and they're dying to see Snipes nail him.
Full credit to Snipes, it just really is a good performance he's putting up.
Hitting the air a bit too often, those Snipes.
But that's down to the big fellow. He's just pulling the chin back, stepping back, swaying back here and there. So although he looks to have a loose defence, he wants him to come forward now.
It's as if Gonzalez was saying, do I have to do this?
He is fairly banged up now, Snipes, isn't he? mean, that was the big right hand he caught him with then, and I think it's knocked a little bit of the fight out of Snipes. See, I've always felt if Gonzalez starts going forward, he could get the job finished, and now he's doing that.
Well, there's about
Snipes don't have much left. I don't
40
think
seconds to go in the 8th round. Oh, he's toying with him a bit now, Jim. We could do without
arrogance, yeah, we could do without that. I mean, he's in with a real good old pro here. We don't need the arrogance.
Yeah, show a bit of respect for the man.
But I've always felt if Gonzalez started backing him up, he could just take complete charge and get him out of there. And a few signs that that's happening now.
Taking time off again. 3rd time that's been out the gum shield, and well, the expression on Snipes' face as if to say, need I go on with this? And I hope the referee steps in, and even better yet, the corner would rescue him.
Nice, time to get him out of there. Too one-sided now, too one-sided.
Yeah, there's a certain sadness about that, isn't there, to see this fellow. Also, a desperation sign there as he looked at the audience. He's saying, I'm okay in the corner, I can hear it quite plainly. Referee going over though, Jim.
Well, just total arrogance there. A couple of left hooks landed early in the round, and I think Gonzalez maybe took offence at that and decided to remind him just who was boss. It was back to the ropes here. A couple of left hooks landed, and from this point, Gonzalez decided, okay, you think you're going to give me some problems? Well, quite the opposite. And produced a lot of good work. A little bit arrogant, the arrogance we could have done without, but a big round for Gonzalez.
When that bell goes, Jim, I got a feeling the referee might step in almost immediately.
I just like to see his corner pull him out. I mean, did his corner actually think he has a chance of winning this?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The 9th round, no, he isn't. I thought he would call it off and wait for the bell. Saying, come on now, Gonzalez is saying. I mean, this is a sort of big bully now game, isn't it, Jim?
Well, I mean, Gonzalez is not going to make himself the people's champion with this kind of nonsense, the arrogance and taking the other fellow down. But he's totally in charge.
Oh yeah, you can't knock his performance in that sense, and he's very much the governor. Oh, not again. This time it's it's a lace coming loose on Gonzalez.
Need another glove.
Got to get another glove, Jim. It's not just a lace; it's a split. Oh, that's, you know, at this stage of the fight, Jim, he could have forgotten all about that and said, "Come on, let's call this fight off anyway," waiting for gloves to be replaced.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
It's almost like Roberto Duran there, doesn't it? Let's have a word from Lennox Lewis then. That's a good chance to get in, Lennox.
Well, I think that Gonzalez should just go out there and stop him. You know, just a quick rally and stop the fight and get it over with. He doesn't need to be in there longer and saying, come on.
Okay, Lennox, thank you. We couldn't quite hear you here actually on this occasion, but well, let's see now what's going to happen in this so-called one-sided fight here. It's ridiculous. It's almost as one-sided as a lynching, this one.
We only got 8-ounce gloves. We can bring in the 10-ounce gloves.
Come on, Tony, I want this. Where's the glove at?
No.
It's going to be a bit of a common happening in the fight game with replacing gloves. And if you remember the famous Henry Cooper and then Cassius Clay back in '63, although in fact the glove wasn't replaced, but it was badly split. In those days, horsehair was coming out of it, but that's no longer used in the gloves. All the time for it to happen, Jim. That's what's so upsetting about it, isn't it? I mean, seconds away really from being stopped, and should have been stopped a bit earlier. Now we've got to go through this performance.
Well, Reg, I don't know if it was seconds away from being stopped, because this referee is the bravest referee I've seen. I mean, he's complained about lack of action, and look at the state of Snipes' face. I mean, I don't know what it'll take to keep this man happy. So I don't think what happens to Snipes is going to upset this referee in the slightest, and it's going to go the full distance unless his corner pull him out or Gonzalez manages actually to stop him.
Yeah, I agree with you. You said earlier, I mean, he should have, the corner should have a little bit of compassion, get him out of there.
I mean, if the man's put up a show, as Snipes has done, and he's no chance of winning, he's losing every round, just taking punishment, and it's definitely one-sided now. It's time to call it a day.
I don't know whether this rest will do this fella any good, Jim. I doubt it, do you?
I don't think Mansell could use these guys in the pit, Reg, could he?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Time they're taking.
Absolutely not, no. I presume that's the manager, Louis de Cubas, there in the... Oh no, it isn't. It's a Nevada
steward, yeah.
inspector, yeah, because he's just initialed the tapes around the wrist of the glove there. So a restart then of round 9.
Scheduled for 10.
What a gutsy guy Jim Renaldo starts, eh?
Well, just as we keep saying, a real good old pro, fancies the job, always puts up a show. When you think at 37 years old, he'd just be making up the numbers. But no, still looking for a result.
Yeah, you got to admire a fellow like that. It might be foolish bravery, but you still have to admire them. I don't know what that means, Jim, though. He doesn't say break, he says box, box, referee.
Well, Gonzalez, he's not ready for the big boys yet, Reg, but certainly got a bit of potential. He's very cool, throws good shots. A lot of potential, but as I say, not quite ready for Bo or Lewis.
I can't believe how he's come to life like this, Renaldo Snipes. There's no chance of winning unless he just, well, may throw one of those haymakers at lands, who knows.
Gonzalez has also worked at a fair pace, and he's had a few little rests here and there. You know, but over the 9 rounds that are almost completed, he's let go with a lot of leather, set a fair old pace, so obviously he's got himself in shape.
Oh dear. If only, if only.
Boxing, box.
Some more of the cheeky arrogant stuff coming from him now.
Yeah, I was going to go 10. I certainly didn't expect that. At least into the 10th round, but one was suspected to be a one-sided one for Gonzalez. And there's the rundown for the next fight. Comeback of the great Tommy Hearns. Not a bad opponent either, Andrew Maynard, fought in the Olympics in Seoul. And up to cruiserweight now for the Tommy Hearns, having once defeated her own Dennis Andrews. The referee going over and reminding them that it's the last round. I would have thought Snipes was more than aware of that. Insisted on touching gloves. First time he's been in the 10-round course, of course, Gonzalez.
He's been leaning down and top up by Snipes a lot. He's been warned for it once or twice. Yeah, well, yeah, I can agree with that, all right. For once, I agree with the referee. I mean, he's been doing that all the way through. He's so much taller than Snipes. When Snipes gets close, he's pushing him down, not allowing him to work.
Well, just when it looked like, well, it was all over by the sympathy there for Renaldo Snipes, he's really come back well there. My heart goes out to him.
Oh, there you go. I mean, experience, an old pro with experience and decent shape, he's always going to give you problems if you let him box his own fight. And Gonzalez has allowed Snipes to come forward for most of the night. I think Gonzalez could have had a far easier time tonight if he'd backed Snipes up a lot more. It's just maybe his attitude is a little bit laid back.
Yeah, he likes the counter stuff. Well, we go to the judges now, it would seem, for this one, and the lady among them, Cindy Barton, and appointed by the Nevada Commission. Inside the last minute.
His face is really banged up, isn't it? Oh, here he goes.
Oh, at last he stopped it now. Oh, what a performance this referee's given the two. I don't know why they're booing Gonzalez. In fairness, we haven't enjoyed the sort of taunting stuff that he's done. He could have stopped it much earlier, Jim, couldn't he? There was no need for that. So there you go anyway. He's 16 wins now with 15 stoppages or KOs for Jorge Luis Gonzalez of Cuba. And now Miami, and the man who says he's dying to fight Riddick Bowe. Jim, replay.
Well, he should have been out of there. I mean, nothing left to offer. He had a final burst at the beginning of the round. But I suppose credit to Gonzalez, he finished the job. Didn't look as though he was going to manage that. But look at the referee, look at all that the panic is about. I'll save you, get you out of there. Just a few rounds too late. See, legs a little bit unsteady, backs off, no defence. Man, that one lands high. The final one actually just kind of went by his whisker. It was the punch that landed high that finished the job. See, it's a thumping big right hand that he throws. So that's it. You can see how unsteady his legs are there. That one landed high. Right hand really missed. Down he goes.
Well, that's it. I think this is going to be a bit of a face to remember there in Gonzalez.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson has to call a halt to this bout. The reason is Renaldo Snipes' eyes.
Thank you very much indeed, Reg. Yes,